Hello here, it's Mr. Pena and ready for another science lesson for you. So today we're going to be looking at what does it mean to be soluble. Okay, so we touched on it the other day and we're going to be looking specifically at filtration as a process. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes for you to have a look at the do it now that's up on your screen. Okay, you need to sort out the images A, B, and C into elements, compounds, and mixtures. And you also need to justify your choices once you've done that. So pause the video and obviously separate them into element, compounds, and mixtures and decide and justify your answers. So if you can pause the video now. Okay, so you've had 5 minutes. Hopefully you've paused the video so you can have a look at those. Let's go through the answers really quickly and then we can go from there. So elements or element is picture B. Reason being is you can see there is only two different types, there's two red molecules together, but they're all the same color all across the picture. Okay. Compound is C. As you can see that the red and the blue molecules, or the red and blue circles, they are bonded together chemically. They're all around the same. So they are a compound, chemically bonded. And therefore that leaves us with A. A is a mixture of two different elements. However, they are not chemically bonded. They are just within the same area, which would make them a mixture. Okay. So moving on to the next slide. By the end of this video, you should be able to explain how to separate mixtures. Using filtration is a really important process, as we use this on a general basis to filter things that we drink, such as water. Filtration is also used to remove impurities from things such as fuel and many other things. So this is how filtration works, okay? Filtration separates an insoluble solid from a mixture. Okay, so what that means, it removes something that does not dissolve in the liquid, okay, from the mixture. At the end, you are left with the solid on one side and a liquid. Okay, so using the example that's here on the picture, you can see we have a mixture of water and sand in a beaker. Okay, in order for us to carry out filtration in science, what we tend to use in the classroom is a beaker. We use a filter funnel. We also use filter paper. Okay, filter paper is normally round, so what we do is we tend to fold it into half twice. So we fold it in half, fold it in half again. We take one of the sides of the filter paper out and spread it open to make it into a cone shape, which will allow us to put it into the funnel. Okay. Once you've done that, you pour the liquid into the filter paper. The water will then start to run through the filter, and all the residue or all the insoluble solid, okay, will remain at the top, and the liquid will filter and end at the bottom. Okay, so that is filtration in a nutshell. So what I'd like for us to do is to have a look at these images, okay, and also if you can state whether you would use a sieve or filter paper to do filtering. Okay, so a sieve or a colander is what you can see on here, the left hand side. Okay, and have a look. So salt and water, would you use a sieve or a filter paper? And pebbles in salt water, would you use a sieve or a colander? Sorry, or a filter paper. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to have a look and decide. You need to explain your choices. So write down your answers and explain your choices. So if you can pause the video now, so that we can go through that information later. Okay, perfect. So you should have had enough time now to have at least written down an answer and an explanation. So starting with the first one, sand in water, I would use filter paper. Reason being is that the sand is quite fine, it's quite small. So if I was to use a sieve, it's quite likely that a lot of that sand will probably get through the sieve. So by using filter paper, only the water will be able to go through, and all the sand would stay in the filter paper. Okay. Therefore, number 2, pebbles in salt water. Okay, you can use a sieve. The pebbles are sufficiently big enough to be able to remove all the pebbles from the salt water without letting any of them through. So, during the breakfast, me personally, I really like orange juice. I don't particularly like orange juice with bits. Okay, during breakfast, you got orange juice with pulp with orange bits instead of your favorite orange juice without bits. Okay, so let's have a look at writing down some ideas how we could remove these bits from the orange juice. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, so if you can pause the video so that you can have a look at writing some ideas. Okay, perfect. So now you've had enough time. Okay, so I'm going to go through the answers. I personally would use filtration as a way to remove all the bits from the orange juice. And I would probably use a sieve in this scenario because I know you could probably remove most of the bits. If you wanted to make sure that you removed all the bits, then I would use filtration. This is what I would like for you to do. Okay, I'm going to do a very small demonstration, okay, to show you how you can remove. You can also do this at home. It may not work very well because filter paper is done a specific way, but I'm going to try and use something else. So I'm going to try and use paper towels. Okay, the paper towels are obviously small enough, but they may let some liquids through. Unfortunately, I don't have a funnel, so I'm going to try and do the best that I can. Okay, so I'm just getting my stuff ready. One second. Okay, so here we are. I have here some muddy water. Okay, what I've done is I've folded some paper towel to make it seem like a bit of a filter, and I have a glass. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm very slowly going to pour my water into my paper. Okay, I'm just going to raise it up so you can see a little bit. You can see that my water starting to filter through. Okay, so I'm just going to slow down so I don't make a mess everywhere. There we are. Okay. Obviously, if I had a funnel, this would be much easier because I wouldn't get a lot of the water coming out. Okay, I'm going to stop there so that you can see and you get the idea. Dry some of the water that's spilt around the side. Okay, so here at the bottom I have clear water compared to the muddy water that I had. You can see the difference. And I'm going to show you on the top, okay, of what should be filter paper. Okay, you're left with all the dirt, okay, and all the bits that are filtered. Okay, so now this is what you need to do. Use the success criteria that's on the bottom of the screen to write down a 5 to 8 methods. Okay, so 5 to 8 steps for a method, okay, of filtration. Okay, so these success criteria on there, you can see it has many different things. So Using a capital letter at the start of each sentence. Excuse me. Using numbers, letters, or bullet points to separate each step. Describe only one action in each step and use the correct names for the apparatus, okay, or for the things that we're going to use, which is on the right hand side, in order for your method to be most accurate, and do this in a logical order, okay? So have a look on the right hand side, use this to help you, okay? Write it in a logical method. You've got all the equipment there, okay? I'm going to give you 10 minutes. So if you can pause the video for 10 minutes, write down all the steps and do the best that you can. Use success criteria, okay? And then we'll go through an example of a method in just a moment. So if you can pause the video now, so you can carry on the task. Okay, so now that you have done that, let's go through your answers, what you should have on there. So as my step number one, I would have written, gather all the equipment necessary for the experiment. Step number two, fold filter paper into quarters. So fold in half and in half again. Step number three, open filter paper into a cone shape. Step number four, okay, place filter paper into funnel. Step number five, place funnel in conical flask. Step number six, pour mixture slowly into filter paper and funnel. Step number six, allow for fluid to be filtered. And step number seven, remove the funnel from conical flask, and you have your filtrate and your insoluble solid in the method. Okay, so that is something that you should have on there. Okay, so now that we've done that, okay, this will be the end of the lesson. So if you could please do your exit tickets, pause the video for a maximum of 5 minutes so you can answer all the questions and we'll go through the answers. If you can pause the video now. Okay, so question number one, let's go through the answers. Number one is filtration. Number two is method. Number three is no, soluble solids cannot be filtered from mixtures. Number four, an insoluble solid is a solid that does not dissolve in a mixture or in a liquid. Number five, so in a cup of hot chocolate, is the hot chocolate powder a solute or the solvent? So the hot chocolate powder is the solute in the solution. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Have a look at Shobies so that you can answer the question, and I hope you're all doing well.